Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Divine Feminine Oracle show for tonight on the Beyond Mystic channel. And also, we are simulcasting on Maison Jupiter. Of course, I'm Julie, and I'll be your host for tonight. And I'm here with my two amazing soul sister co hosts, Sophie and Meg. How are you guys? I'll start with you, Meg. First of all, welcome to the show and tell us how you've been doing.
I am very good. I was just sharing with you, Julie, before we got on that I've been feeling a really big energy shift of some sort this week. So feeling like there's big shifts going on in the collective and processing that, and look forward to hearing how you guys are feeling and everybody in the chat as well. Going to be a good show.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you so much for that. And hello, Sophie. Let us know how you're doing and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for welcoming me. I'm so glad to be here tonight with you guys. The energy is amazing today. Meg, it's totally true. I feel I feel the same as you. I feel that the collective energy is switching, and sorry, I'm losing my voice. I don't know for you guys, but this wildfire that we have here in Quebec, it's just making my voice. Like we talked about in I think the last show, it's hurting the throat chakra, and I've been having a hair filter since 2 days, and it's really crazy here. So I've been feeling this and a major shift of energy as well.
Oh, yeah. And I was telling Meg right before recording that it just came back, at least in Quebec and Ontario, we're feeling again like this big veil over the sun. And I had like the intuitive feeling that it was not super good to go outside. So I've been trying to stay inside. I feel you, Sophie. I kind of am feeling the same thing. So hello, everybody, and hello, everybody in the chat. We're very happy to spend this bit of time with you tonight. And I prepared some subjects for tonight's show, and I haven't even told Meg and Sophie yet. So I'm sure everybody's going to be excited. I was planning on talking about Venus retrograde because we're already under the pre-shadow phase of Venus going retrograde. And right now it's in almost conjunction with Lilith. So very much shifting the divine feminine energy in the world. And also we're going to have a Capricorn full moon this weekend. So I thought we could talk about those two wonderful alignments and everything else that you guys are feeling in the chat. And Meg and Sophie, of course, if you want to bring anything else to the table, I'll be happy to talk about it with you. So yeah, right before we dive into our donations offers for tonight, I'd like to share with you, if you'd like to book a personal reading with either Meg or Sophie, you can do so on maisonjupiter.com. And of course, don't forget to enter Beyond Mystic in one word at checkout to get your 10% off your next booking. And yes, I was mentioning right at the beginning that if you are watching on the Beyond Mystic channel, don't forget to give this video a like. It helps the algorithms and it helps support all the crew with all the content that we're creating for free for you. And also, please also subscribe if you resonate with us and with the content we produce. And also, don't forget to pay a visit on the Maison Jupiter channel also, and give us a like and also a subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. So thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate you. And we have an amazing pyramid from Carla, from one of you supporters from the super chats tonight. So if you'd like to ask a question for either Meg or Sophie, we'll get to do the personal questions towards the end of the show. So you can do so on the Maison Jupiter channel, not on the Beyond Mystic because it's been unfortunately demonetized a while back. So you can go on the Maison Jupiter channel to give us a super chat with your question, and we'll be answering some of the questions towards the end of the show. So for one of you lucky supporters in the super chats, we'll be giving away this beautiful pyramid. So let's hear what Carla has to say about the beautiful Paola.
Hey everybody, this is Carla from Ascension Organite again, and today I have Paola to show you. So Paola is right off the bat, the solar plexus, solar energies, the sun. Basically, she's a ray of sunshine. She is made of white quartz, with labradorite and brass metals together with the flower of life in gold. So as we know, labradorite is great for imagination, creating new ideas, bringing clarity to your inner self, peace, promoting the third eye, encouraging truth and freedom, as well as balance. I'll give her a quick turnaround so you can see her. And there's Paola. I hope you guys like her, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla. We really appreciate you. And we really love your pyramids as usual. I love the yellow. I love the solar plexus chakra activation with this beautiful Paola pyramid. And also we've got a candle from Elena. That's a handmade candle with a crystal that's infused in the candle from the Beyond Mystic Element collection. Also for one of you lucky supporters through the super chats. So this week we'll give away one Beyond Mystic Fire candle, which is, let me read here through to make sure I don't forget anything. So it is tobacco and vanilla fragrance. It's kind of warm, woody, floral, but kind of soft. It's not too bold. I really love this scent. It was JC's favorite. And also the crystal that's in there is a tiger eye for courage, getting more drive, getting more energy, and also solar plexus activation. So I feel like we have a general theme for this week's offerings. Thank you so much, both Elena and Carla. Yeah, okay. Can you hear me well? Is my sound okay?
Yep, just fine.
Okay, thank you. All right. So first, let's talk about, well, I'd like to know how you've been generally speaking, because it's been a while we haven't talked. So let's start with Meg. Do you have any updates? Are you looking forward to travel? What's up with you, Meg?
Well, I was having interesting, Sophie, you were just saying something with your throat that you were feeling. And I was having that, I think last week or the week before, to the point where I lost my voice for a couple days. So it was definitely processing something in the throat chakra area, which I notice a lot of us like-minded, beautiful people, through witch wounds and different things, there's a lot that can come up with the throat. So been processing that. And looking forward to, in a few weeks, going to be coming over to Canada and the US for a couple months. So I'm really, really excited to come back to Canada soon.
Very excited for you to come back. I hope we'll have some time to spend together, the three of us, maybe.
Definitely.
Hopefully. And what about you, Sophie? How are you feeling with the present energies? You said you were feeling a shift. Can you tell us a little bit about like the energies that you're feeling at the moment?
It's very high energy, but it's also overwhelming at times. I don't know if you feel that. It's like a pressure coming in, but it's also high vibration. So I feel it's a good thing. But yeah, it can be challenging.
Great. Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. I totally get it. And it's funny because you sent me a message, I think it was 2 days ago, about the sun. You were noticing like how visually it appeared different. And when you texted me that, I went outside my house and I was like, oh, wow, it's true. Like it's a whole different lighting. I don't know how to really explain the way we were seeing it, but it was like such a small, dense orange ball. And like we looked at it, but it felt very different. Like, how would you describe that?
It was bright and orange. So it was really bright. Oh, sorry, give me just a sec with the cat. Just a second. Sorry.
That's interesting, Julie, because I was doing some research on the sun today, and I was finding articles of researchers that study the sun talking about that 2024 is going to be very increased activity on the sun, even more than we've been having now, with solar flares and solar activity. So I just realized now maybe the sun is even looking different that way because there's a lot of different activity going on at the moment.
Yeah. Meg, would you mind pulling some cards maybe for us about like, are the frequencies emitted by the sun different right now? Is there something we need to know about like how it affects our energetic bodies maybe?
Very good question. Okay, let me pull some cards here. Wow, okay. Pulling some of the astrology cards. So I'm feeling this wow, really strong. We're going into higher frequencies, which we talk about that all the time, that that's going on, but it's actually really happening in the sense now that we're really going into higher frequencies that we've never even been on in the planet so far. So I've pulled the trine sextile card, which is a really positive type of astrological aspect. The keyword is symbiosis. And the ascendant entrance card. So like we're entering into more harmony and blissful energies actually into the age of Aquarius.
Wow, that is so cool.
So it's funny that we were all picking up on that right now, that there's some kind of shift going on, and let us know in the comments if you guys are feeling that too. Been noticing that those kind of darker energy frequencies are really in a state of desperation, of getting our attention and getting our energy. And really the best thing to do, you guys, if there's anything in life that's trying to drain your energy or trying to, I'll even use the word psychically attack, is to actually just not feed it at all and rise above it, raise the vibe above it, and just do something in your joy and bliss, because parasitic energies get fed by our responses of being triggered or anger or something like that. So really about just being in the light and nature and absorbing these new frequencies coming in. Are you guys resonating with what I'm saying?
So much. Like, I was thinking so much about what you just said, because it makes sense that if, like, let's say our frequencies are being elevated because the sun is helping us, let's say there's always two sides of a coin, right? So it means that there's also some forces trying to bring us down even more, trying to how can we say that, block this process or to delay it a little bit. So of course, and I totally resonate with what you say. If you feel like something is not worth your time, your energy, and it's not aligning with your frequency or the frequency that you'd like to be at, let's say you're in a dark place right now, but you'd like to get in a better place, well, try to feed your energy to something that's going to help your situation instead of feeding something that's, let's say, emphasizing more drama. Even with like the TV shows that we're watching, I notice sometimes sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to put my brain on, let's say, off mode. So I'm watching like dating reality TV shows, but sometimes there's way too much drama in them, and I'm like, it's like how do we say that, defeating the purpose of just checking out. So I think like we have to be very mindful. It very much resonates what you just said. You both did two amazing psychic spiles that I'm a bit behind because last week I forgot to talk about this one. So I'd like to talk about the two last psychic spies a little bit that you produced. So Meg, can you tell us first about this particular one that I watched? By the way, it was very, very good. Prince is like one of my favorite music artists. So can you just give us a little snippet of what you guys discovered in this episode?
So cool. So yeah, I'm really into music, and personally I've never gone down the Prince train, which is really interesting because he's like a genius musician. So it was really cool to research him and look at his astrology. And man, like in terms of the astrology, we always in the Psychic Spies shows, you guys, if you haven't watched it, we do, Sophie pulls amazing card readings and I'll look at the astrology and we'll share our intuitive insights doing some psychic spy work. And looking at his astrology chart, that was so interesting. He's a really, what's the right word I should use? Like, I'll say advanced soul, but creative soul at the same time. And the vibration really reminded me of David Bowie a lot. Like genius kind of energy, starseed, genius spy or something like that. That's what we were picking up on.
And it's funny because the only two like musical artist t-shirts that I own are David Bowie and Prince. Funny enough. So it's funny when you brought those two together. I was like, yes.
That's so funny. And yeah, we were picking up on that Prince and David Bowie are two artists that are on the other side right now, that they died within 4 months of each other in 2016, which is really interesting. And we feel like they're helping us from the other side. So,
And from the same soul group.
And from the same soul group.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's available on beyondmystic.net. And right before we dive into the main content for today, Sophie, can you just tell us a little bit about this one, because you filmed this yesterday on Titanic?
Yes. I always like when we dive into things that are historical. That's what I like. The past life, historical. That's me. So
that's a beautiful manifestation of the sun conjunct the south now, which is very much about like being obsessed with the past and past lives. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. Okay. So we when we saw that on the news, there was this submarine that was going to see Titanic, we knew that this was our opportunity to talk about Titanic, because it was on our list, but we were waiting for the right moment, and that was the divine moment. Not only that, but also the person that we wanted to talk about, John Jacob Asher, that we may do another episode at some point later on, is also Cancer. We are in Cancer season. So Titanic is covering a recent event from the submarine that went to see the wreck. Is that how you say that? The wreck?
Yeah.
Okay. And also we uncover what we think really happened and why there was those people on board, and what was the plan on this. So we try to be neutral. So we are stating what we believe are fact, and we look into astrology and the cards. You can decide whatever you believe and whatever you feel the gap with in your mind. But really suspect, really interesting. And I think it's linked also with the economic that we have.
I believe so too. Can't wait to watch this one, because I feel like it's going to uncover a lot of mysteries about what was the plan behind sinking the Titanic. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so first, thank you everybody for being with us tonight. I really love watching reading your comments in the chat. So thank you for participating. I'm going to try to bring on some on the screen, and Meg is also going to help me with that. So, okay, let's first dive into the full moon we're having this weekend into the sign of Capricorn. I think it is a beautiful full moon. Let me bring my slide, and then I'll ask you both to pull some cards and comment on your feelings around it. So, okay, so that's going to be on July 3rd. So if you're in our time zone or near a time zone in the Eastern time, it's going to be in the night from Sunday to Monday. So I think for most people, it's going to be during that night. So this weekend, 11 degrees of Capricorn. So you can look and locate where 11 degrees of Capricorn fall in your own birth chart. So you'll see what house is being activated for you specifically. So full moon means we're going to be completing a cycle. So what does Capricorn rule? Well, it does rule work, career, and some form of leadership. So we'll be completing a cycle or project or some form of lesson that deals with work, career, leadership. And also a full moon, especially this one, because it makes like just positive aspects to a lot of planets. So reaping the rewards of your hard work, if you have been doing hard work, of course. So I feel like for most people, it's going to be super positive. The Sun and Mercury in Cancer will oppose the full moon in the sign of Capricorn. So every full moon is dealing with finding a balance between two archetypes. In this case, is Cancer and Capricorn. So I feel like the big theme there will be that we'll have to find a better balance between our personal life and our professional life, between work and play, between work and family, work or vacation. So we'll all have to really put some thought and consciousness into how are we working out this balance? Is it working well for our health, for our for our life in general? So I was looking at all the great aspects that this full moon is making. So a lot of supportive energies for also launching any kind of new projects around this full moon. And Saturn is the ruler of this full moon, and it sextiles the full moon. So that's a really positive supporting aspect. So I think it's going to help us liberate a lot of past karma. So that's been holding us down. So I think that's going to be super positive around this full moon, because we're going to be completing something, letting go of something. Maybe that's weighing on our shoulders. Letting go of past hardships, because Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, past challenges, and moving forward with the right foundations. And also,
Can I just add something to that?
Sure.
Sorry to stop you there. But all the questions right now are, well, almost all the questions right now in consultation are about past lives. So it's very interesting what you're just saying, because
Wow.
it's about releasing the past. So we have moments where it's question about past life and moments where there is almost no question about it. And right now we're full on, almost every reading is about this. So very
Wow.
interesting that the shift in the collective is linked with what you're saying right now.
And would you say it has more to do with relationships from past lives, or past lives in general?
Past life in general.
Okay, so that's interesting. So it's probably more the Saturn and Pisces that's being very much activated with this full moon. Wow, cool. Okay, so that's a good sign. So yeah, so it's gonna help us very much to liberate a lot of stuff from past lives, from the past, from this lifetime. And it trines Jupiter also, so it's kind of a big reward for having done the work around this full moon. So hard work pays off, good fortune, protection. It's going to be good for business, educational projects, teaching, learning, travel, and media, because both Mercury and Jupiter are well aspected in this full moon. So very excited. So I would like to ask you both. Well, let's start with Meg. How do you feel, first of all, about this full moon? And do you have anything to add? And if you want to pull some cards, do so.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about this full moon. This is going to be the last full moon that we have with Pluto being in Capricorn for 248 years.
Wow, that's such a good point.
So we've gone through since 2008 when Pluto entered Capricorn. Every year, you guys, we have a full moon in Capricorn in Cancer season, because the new moon of the month is always in the sign of whatever sun season we're in. And then the full moon is always in the opposite sign to whatever the new moon was in, or sun sign season we're in. So we've been going through all these full moon in Capricorns while Pluto's been in Capricorn. And this is the last one, because we're in the second last time of Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. The last time will only be 2 months at the end of 2024, won't be during Cancer season. So I personally think something very significant is going to come to light regarding governments or leaders or the structures of the world within the next week. And I know that that's a very general thing for me to say, and we talk about that a lot, but probably will have to do with the United States of America, because it is within that 2-degree orb of the exact position of the USA's Pluto, which was 27 degrees Capricorn. And it's going through its Pluto return right now. So I think this is a really powerful full moon. Something's going to be illuminated about the governments. And I know there's lots going on right now, but some clarity is going to come forward that I think we've been longing for.
And so close to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, or something that will maybe go past the truther movement into actually like the full-blown mainstream of like some sort of information regarding the government.
Yeah, I was going to say also super close to the US solar return. That's on July 4th. Mm-hmm. So not even like 24 hours. And I think you mentioned that when we did the Astro Decode, now that I think about it, we did the Astro Decode on both US solar return and Canada solar return. So if you want to go check that out, that's on the Maison Jupiter channel. And I think he did mention that it was super close to the Capricorn full moon. So very interesting. Yeah. Wow. So we'll be celebrating both the solar returns for US and Canada in the coming few days. So, and it's interesting because the solar return kind of gives us the energies for the year ahead. So if you'd like to know what's going to be coming up for both Canada and US, go check it out. It's called the Astrological US and Canada solar return. So, Sophie, okay, let us know, what can the cards tell us on, let's say, how can we best benefit from the energies of this full moon in Capricorn?
Yeah, good question. Independence. It says stay firm in your point of view, stay firm in your independence, stay firm in your energy. And it says devotion. And it says follow that dream. So it's very important during that time that you don't have the influence. And I had the same message yesterday when I did the Beyond Tarot. It's very important that you do. You follow your instinct, you follow your guidance and your own values, and not what is being taught by family or surrounding. Let's just see what cards goes underneath those cards. But so far we have follow your dreams. So if it's a place that you want to live, a kind of person that you want in your life, or if it's a job or a mission, go ahead with this, even though you have people in your life that are not on board with it. If this is what you want for your own happiness and you're not hurting anyone by, I mean, you can hurt people, unfortunately, if you're not on the same page with it and there is deception, you know, when they are not on board with it. But follow your dream, you know what I mean. Don't hurt intentionally, but follow you and do you. We have the Ace of Sword, which is breakthrough with the card of independence. So for me, it's really, we have clarity on what do you want, what is your path, what is your mission, and nobody else. It says lack of movement. So this is my card of the Hangman. It's the same position. And it's the 4. So it's the legs. So it's really about staying firm on where you are. We have Queen of Swords. So lots of clarity is coming in right now with this. That's what I'm getting. The last cards are Devotion with 10 of Pentacles. So really put your heart into what you commit to. Really put your heart into what you're trying to create. And the last card is the Tower with follow that dream. So the universe can push you in the right direction. Since it's a full moon, some things may be ending to clear the path for you to go there.
Wow, I love that. Absolutely love that. And that makes sense also because I was seeing Capricorn as being more, let's say, work and work-oriented, career-oriented. But it makes total sense with what you're saying because I feel like it also deals with our life mission and the big purpose of why we're here. It's just not like doing 9 to 5 or doing a work just to pay the bills. It's also about like finding purpose in our life mission through the work that we're doing. And also Capricorn is how we're doing like public work, how we're being seen in the world. So everything that's like the public part of us is also Capricorn. So I love that we're getting more clarity about our mission and also our purpose here, because even though like we feel sometimes we're on the right path, we keep adding more and more puzzle pieces to the mix, right? So I love that. And I feel like this meditation that we're going to have next week, that's going to be on Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we're going to have this beautiful Capricorn full moon singing bowl meditation with Elena, Janine, JC, and I will also be there. So I think that's going to be super powerful to really get some more clarity also on our mission, as Sophie were seeing with the cards. And those activation are very, very powerful. Sound healing also, and the fact that we're a group together with a similar frequency, we're all on the same wavelength. So that's super powerful to help us push us into the next step of our mission, our life, and also finding a better balance to make sure that we're centered going into all the changes, right? So, okay, amazing. Thank you so much. And I forgot to say, you can also register as of right now. That's on the Beyond Mystic beyondmystic.academy. I'm having a lot of problem issues with my throat chakra today. We just filmed the Astro Woo, and I've been like, oh my God, saying all the words wrong, but here I am pushing through.
Interesting.
Sorry, Julie, can I share a comment that we got here?
Sure.
So Barb Lloyd says, big news on the 4th, opening movie Sounds of Freedom.
That's so true. Jenny did mention that when we were doing the Astro Woo, that, oh yeah, a lot of truths are going to be.
Is that the one that Mel Gibson? Oh, okay.
From what I understood, yeah, this is, and the launch is on the 4th. So on right, like in the window of this full moon in Capricorn with Pluto in Capricorn.
Wow.
Why not?
Amazing.
That's crazy. Like I was going to say synchronicities, but it's not even synchronicities. It's just how the universe works, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I love that.
Just say something about the mission. A lot of the time, I don't know for you, Meg, maybe tell me if this is not the case for you, but a lot of the time, the first appointment that people have, the first question is, what is my mission? And I don't know for you girls, because you also, Julie, have experienced a lot with astrology and everything, and also the cards. But for me, the mission is not just a job. And I don't know where this belief comes from that we incarnate here to do a job. So a lot of people, when they ask for what is my mission, what they have in mind is, not always, but most of the time, what they have in mind is, what is my perfect job? And I feel that this is so 3D. We have been taught that our value is productivity. It's most of the time a job. And we don't incarnate. I don't believe we incarnate to do a job. We incarnate to embody a lesson and to help with that lesson that we are going through and help others through it. So I just want to clarify that, because every first appointment, this is the first question that I get, and I kind of have to break that down, but this is maybe just my belief. What do you believe, girls?
I love that. And I feel like because I'm a Virgo sun, sometimes I'm very much work focused. So for me, my mission, I think, is expressed a lot through my work. But that's such a good point that you're raising here, because I feel like if we look at, let's say, for example, a stay-at-home mom, like her life mission is raising kids or taking care of a household, and that's not less valuable, far from it. Like it's making people around that person a lot more happy. And like this woman that's a stay-at-home mother, for example, is helping to raise kids that are going to be the next leaders, and just, let's say, heart-centered kids and heart-centered people. So I feel like you have such a good point here. And Meg, what do you think about that? The difference between like just embodying the energy and doing.
Oh my God, there's like a huge spider on me. Did you guys?
Yeah.
What is up with me and all the bugs in here? Did you see how big that spider was?
I kind of.
Oh my God. So that's interesting.
What's the message?
Well, spider is creativity and writing and words and communication and knowledge. So that's interesting that was just on me right when you asked me.
Okay, I think like the spider wanted to.
The other day when we were doing psychic spies, it was a huge moth that came. I think it was one of the ghosts of the Titanic came in the room. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people ask about purpose, and I personally feel like, hope I didn't hurt this spider. He's okay. Oh my God, don't go on me. Yeah, he's good. Like for the North Node, I really feel like it's not just about the work that we do in career. It's also, and we talk about this North Node all the time. It's so important, you guys. It's actually what we need to embrace personally, first and foremost. Yeah. So I believe we have like a personal purpose and then an outer personal purpose. The outer personal purpose has a lot to do with work or career. But yeah, some people's purpose is actually not even to have some kind of career. Like we all have different life paths, whereas others, it's very much about work and being out there in that way. So yeah,
I love that. I love that. And yeah, like for example, I have my North Node in Gemini. So like part of my vision could just be making friends and learning from all those friends and sharing information with those friends and just talking and learning about communication. So like that could be for me like more of the personal side of my North Node, but also my North Node is in the 10th house, so meaning I kind of had to make a career out of it, but it's not necessarily the same for everybody, of course. And I love that you brought that up, Sophie. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to, sorry, last thing. I promise, last thing.
No, it's fine. Talk all you want.
I just wanted to bring that up because I see lots of pressure on people, especially with that full moon, on with the balance between work and family. So if you put a lot of pressure on yourself to put more time towards your work, because that's what the universe is telling you right now, not the universe, sorry, the world, the culture, the society is telling you to do, it's putting a lot of pressure on you and judgment on you if you're not working a lot. And if this is not your purpose, or if you work in something that is not in your purpose, in your mission, you're not going to feel fulfilled. So I think use that time with that full moon where you can find a better balance between maybe what is my purpose. It does need to be a job. It could be in your free time. It could be just something that you research.
Are you getting this emergency alert?
Oh, I love Quebec.
That was live. Wow, what is happening with this live show? The spider, the emergency alert.
The cat.
What is it about? Wait a second.
I don't know.
Is it the wildfires? Maybe?
It's an Amber Alert. It's I don't want to judge, but this is one crazy thing where they don't put any picture. It's just a description of a person, and if you don't match the description in your mind, you're missing that person. But anyway, okay. So yes, I wanted to say that. I wanted to say don't put a lot of pressure on you putting more time in your work if you're not fulfilled in this. Instead, look into your natal chart if you know your time of birth, and look into what is your North Node, what is your mission, and try to embody that energy in or out of your work. That will help your life to be more balanced.
That's such a beautiful message. Thank you so much, Sophie. And I think I need to really listen to that once again when I'm gonna watch the replay to really absorb it in. Thank you so much. Okay, before we dive into the next subject, Sophie, can you just pull some cards for those alerts that we're getting by, like, let's say text messages? Are we gonna receive more of them? Is it a strategy to perhaps, like, I don't know, maintain us in the fear frequency? What can the cards tell us? That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I will ask the card.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, that's not the cards that I was thinking about. Okay, let's see with the mouse deck.
And that says Amber Alert. So many, doesn't it make you think? Good point, Amber. Not Amber, and that. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, it sounds like it is something that is just really freaked out, just really messed up. So I'm going to have to clear the energy because there's a real blockage, just like when we do the psychic spy.
And Lakeside Laura is saying, I just got an Amber Alert here in Missouri during dinner. So.
Oh, wow. I think they're trying to distract us big time, but the fact that we have a blockage, Meg, I think you and I start to understand why there's some blockage when we do shows. It's something that is touched by a lot of darkness that we can, a lot of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I know.
Yeah. I'm not going to say a lot because we're on YouTube, but look at what is on top of his head. And remember when I had to get up because of the cat, we were talking about this bright orange sun that was really freaky. And the same night, I don't know for you, but I had a message, somebody telling me, did you look at the moon? It was red in the same day. So I think that we have right now something that I cannot tell right now here, but you can read between the lines. I think we have some energy that is not good right now, that is trying to, like Meg said, very desperate energy. It's just trying to bring chaos. It just tries to bring a lower vibration, because we're raising the vibration. Because we're getting out of this darkness, we're getting out of this winter for this atmosphere, we are getting out of this lower vibration. So they're trying to push us. That's what I felt in the beginning, trying to put pressure on us to go back into the previous energy.
Can I just ask you a confirmation on whether it is, let's say, an operation of the white hats, those emergency alerts, or the black hats? Because it could be, let's say it's the white hats, it could be to really direct our attention on the bad stuff that's been happening, or is it really trying to lower our frequency, and is it like more black hats?
I think it's both in the same time, to be honest.
Okay.
So I need to take cards on this. That's why I wanted to reshuffle. It's because I had white hat and I do have black hats out. So I want to check first, what is the main purpose of all of this? What is the main purpose of all of this? Is there something in the astrology or that you're just sensing that would match this? Because it says we are at a crossroad. The time is now or never. We are at a crossroad for humanity right now. And there is no going back. So that's the desperate energy. So I think they're black and white. So I think it's both. I think it's both that are trying to push in the favor of one and another. So both sides are trying to pull the rope on their side.
Okay. Oh, good. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Meadow Rat is saying thunderstorms for 2 days, world problems, and very tired. You girls are my bright spot. Can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. I love seeing that comment. Thank you. Sending you much love. I know when like the sun is kind of veiled or like the energy is kind of wonky, it's kind of hard to keep our frequency high. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Let's talk about the other subject for tonight, which is this Venus retrograde that we're going to experience. Dun, dun, dun. So, okay, first I did a slide, so I'm just going to start with that, and then I'll ask you both for further information on this amazing. But I don't know if it's going to be amazing. Maybe we'll see. Let's hope so. But I hear like a lot of people are saying that they have really great memories of the Venus retrograde period. So let's hope it's going to be a good one. Okay, so I'm going to focus more on the personal manifestations of the energies of Venus retrograde, because of course, Venus retrograde, let's say we're looking at more the collective energies. It could talk about some form of recession, because Venus is money, resources. Going retrograde, it can talk about the slowing down of the spending. So I'm not going to talk about all of that, because I feel like we're touching more on that when we're doing the war correspondence. So more of the personal manifestation of the energies for tonight. So Venus rules in astrology love, self-love, self-worth, money, our values, our relationships, pleasures in general, harmony, beauty, contractual agreements. So whenever Venus is going retrograde, we're every time I try to say that word, it's not working. Internalizing, yes. Internalizing. Okay. The energies, instead of putting them outwards. So we're rethinking, reevaluating, let's say, changing the dynamic between our relationships. It could be relationship to someone, to something. So reevaluating where we spend money, where we invest our time and energy, because Venus is money, but is also resources in general. So your time, your energy. Also giving yourself more self-love. reevaluating relationships, which I think is going to be a good one, an important one, because also near this period we're going to have the South Node moving into the sign of Libra, which Venus rules. So all about rethinking relationships, and also changing relationship dynamics, taking time off to just enjoy life, because Venus retrograde can also be a great time to take vacation or time off. So, okay, first, let's talk about you, Meg. How do you feel this Venus retrograde period will affect us, generally speaking? And do you personally have a good memory of Venus retrograde periods, or a bad one?
I always seem to get haircuts and beauty appointments in a Venus retrograde, even though I know it's a Venus retrograde. Every single time it gets me. So I'm making a personal declaration out loud that I'm not doing any beauty appointments during the Venus retrograde. And guys, just be very weary of anything you do in terms of beauty, because Venus rules that. The divine feminine from July 18th to, what is it, September 3rd, Julie?
Yeah, my birthday.
So yeah, just being mindful of that. But I think this is going to be really good for paying attention, and I'm feeling this really strong, to what comes up during this time in regards to relationships, money, what you're feeling drawn towards buying or having in your life, what cryptos you hear about, or what little things you hear about that might be good to invest in. Taking stock of all of that and really paying attention to what comes up, because I find retrogrades are not just about where we need to sit and reevaluate, like take the action of reevaluating. It's also paying attention to what is coming into my field. Why does this person from the past keep coming into my field in my dreams like 5 times this week or something?
Meg, I was gonna say this is exactly what's been happening to me. Venus is retrograding, it will retrograde in my 12th house of dreams. And I keep having the same dreams over and over of an ex. So I need to, I think, like do some cord cutting. And I'm like, no, I thought it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. It's so interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah, so this is where the ex-lovers, even ex-friends, can come forward, and it's a reevaluation of, okay, what did I enjoy about that? What drew me to that person? What attracted me to that person? And what maybe doesn't resonate? Do you want to go back to something, or do you not want to go back to something? There can be an element, I think, with a Venus retrograde of a little bit of confusion, a little bit when it comes to love in particular. So this is going to be really interesting because the nodes are shifting on July 15th into the relationship axis. And then we've got the Venus retrograde happening. So I think there can be a lot going on. When we get into the September, I think clarity will be really more prominent in terms of relationships. I think it's a good summer to experiment. Use this retrograde to experiment. Maybe if you're a single person, go on some dates, be open to some types of people that maybe you have never dated before, see how that is, see if that's in alignment with your values. Because I think when we get out of this retrograde, there will be that clarity from the experiences of this summer of what actually resonates with you and what doesn't. And in terms of money, I agree with you, Julie, the financial system, there's going to be some interesting things happening with that. So we want to be very careful, I'll use that word, what we're buying during this time. It's a good time to be taking in information on investments and finances, but being like, if you're going to invest in something, triple check that it's the right company or, whatever it is. So not necessarily a bad thing, this retrograde, but just being mindful of it, I think.
Thank you. And while we did the Astro, we went through the 12 zodiac signs, what it means for you, the Venus retrograde, where is it, like what house is it retrograding in? And I gave your example for for the first house, for the Leos, actually. I was like Mike said, do not get a haircut or like
Even
a drastic change of appearance.
Sorry to interrupt you, Julie. the last one of the last Mercury retrogrades we had and the last Venus retrograde we had, both times I got a haircut, even though I shouldn't be getting a haircut during this time. And both times the hairdresser showed me a picture of like a really cool new haircut to like lure me into it. And they were like, let's try this. And I was like, okay, she's a professional hairdresser. And it just, no. So even if the person is saying, oh, it's going to be fine, I can do this really well, you know, even with waxing anything, just be really mindful, you guys.
Wow. Okay. So I should hold on for like a big purchase too, right?
I would say yes.
Because I feel like rationally I know, but I'm like, okay. Just in case I see.
Sorry to interrupt you, Julie, but the chart for that purchase, because everything in life actually has an astrology chart.
Right.
Then the chart of that purchase will have a Venus retrograde.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
in Lakeside Laura, I'm trying to bring your comment up. She says, happy early birthday, Julie. You will have the same dream for days because in my solar return chart, Venus will be retrograde. No.
Okay. Interesting thing with Venus retrograde for me, girls. I always start relationship at that time. It's the worst.
Really?
Well, so it's karmic relationship, it means, because if you're starting a relationship, most likely during a Venus retrograde, is that you have something to, like a lesson to learn from a karmic. So that makes sense why it didn't work.
But every time I'm really conscious of this. It's not like you don't know you. Well, for me, I'll have you, Julie. So it's like, I know it's Venus retrograde. I know it. It's not the right time. And every time it's like, well, we can wait like 6 months to maybe be more serious. But 6 months, it's a long time, Venus retrograde. So every time it's this or near a full moon. So I don't know what life has to tell me. Maybe I had like a very bad karma with tons of people. I don't know, but it's always this way for me. So Venus retrograde, I am staying single.
No, but if you want to look at it in a more positive light, you can say that maybe you dealt with all the hard, challenging karma you had to deal with to open up the space for more, let's say, positive relationships in the future. Because like it's hard, it's easy to say, oh, I'll try and avoid like the karmic and the hard karmic relationships. But if your soul planned on healing those relationships before incarnating, then it's impossible to avoid, right?
For sure. And you have to clear them. You absolutely have to clear the lessons and what you had. It's just that I'm very conscious of it from the beginning. So it's, yeah.
We're just so hopeful, Okay, Sophie, I was going to ask you, can you pull some cards on this Venus retrograde energy? And how do you think it's going to impact us on a personal level?
Sure.
What kind of cards tell us?
Titanic. Okay.
What?
Interesting. So there's a link between those two.
I got distracted by Titanic. Remind me the question, please.
How I'm so bad at remembering my questions.
Oh, okay.
How is this Venus retrograde energy going to impact us personally?
So now I view this card as karma in this. Because of the show that we did yesterday, there's a lot of karma. It says freedom, and it says also meeting the right person. So I think there's an illusion there with meeting the right person. Let me just see what cards goes underneath so I can complete that message. Yes. So for some of you, you're really like me, you're going to meet maybe someone during that Venus retrograde, or you're going to have someone that you had in mind for a long time coming back. And yes, it looks like the perfect match from those cards, but it's something else. It's more about somebody that will activate you. We have the High Priestess there. So it's somebody that has something that you needed to continue your journey. So it's more like an activation and then continuing on your journey. For some of you, it may be twin flames.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we have freedom and we have the temperance card. So I really think that it's going to balance your divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And I really think for some of us, it may be activation through a twin flame or through a soulmate that you met in past lives that you do have to reconnect and then simply take on the pieces that you know, because a twin flame is like a mirror. It's acting like a mirror when you meet that person. So it's going to show you where do you need to continue to work and where are you really good already. So it's going to balance you and shift you in your activation.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let me bring you Meg on the screen. Because I'm usually not working with Lilith in astrology, but this Venus retrograde is conjuncting Lilith for quite a long time. So I think it is conjuncting. I'm going to bring my chart up so you guys can see.
That is
yeah. Did I
Lilith is an asteroid. She's actually, we call her a dark goddess. She's not that she's bad, but she's like the wild goddess. She represents the divine feminine wild side. That's intense. She's very sexual. She's very wild. So wow. So we've got all those guys conjunct right now.
Yeah. So Sophie was saying about like this divine feminine, divine masculine type of balance that's being activated at the time. So now it's like conjuncting Lilith. Venus is almost conjuncting Lilith. It's going to pass by, and then once it turns retrograde, it's going to conjunct again and go conjunct again while it goes direct. So, Meg, what do you feel intuitively about that? Like for the divine feminine energy, maybe, and maybe if you feel like it, you can also pull some cards, maybe.
Sure. I feel like right away, I keep saying be mindful with this, but being mindful of your sexual energy, because Lilith is a very sexual energy. And, you know, when we have sex with someone and we're intimate with someone, that's when we're opening up our field completely to them. And we're connected to everyone that we've ever been intimate with for the rest of our life. It doesn't matter how many, you know, cord cuttings you do, all that stuff works, but there's always a sacred experience that they've had with you. So it's very intense energy. So I would just say, I think we're going to be feeling more sexual than usual overall, particularly the fire signs, because they're naturally very sexual. So if you're a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo in particular, because this Venus retrograde is in Leo, and you're feeling like really, you know, sexual, maybe you want to do some stuff yourself. I know this is like kind of weird for us to talk about, but instead of just being with someone random because you're feeling very sexual, your energy is very sacred. I'm feeling spirit say this very intense right now. So being mindful who you share your sacred space with in that intimate way, because with Lilith conjunct this Venus retrograde, it's going to feel like we're going to feel that desire to maybe go back to some lovers that we've been with before, because there's some dark pattern there, something we want to play out. Lilith is very much about our dark patterns and our wild side and our shadow side. So in your personal birth chart, you can look at Lilith to see the sign she's in and the house she's in and degree, if you want to go that in depth, and see what's your dark side. What's your real like shadow side that is extremely personal to you? So for me personally, I'll share with you guys as an example, I have my Lilith in Pisces. So part of my shadow side is I had a point in life where I smoked weed and drank every single day, like in my early 20s and late teenage years, to the point where I was like gone, Pisces. I was like in another dimension. Or sometimes I can be really like my imagination can be overactive, Pisces. So that is personally part of my shadow work that I go through. So that's actually something very important. Sorry, it's off topic, but looking at Lilith in your birth chart and seeing what sign that's in, and you're going to go, oh, okay. that is an area where I have some darker tendencies or patterns that it's hard to say those things out loud sometimes. So, yeah, with it conjuncting the Venus retrograde, I think we're going to be feeling more sexual than usual. We may have desires towards people that if Venus was out of retrograde, it's like, why did I do that with that person? Or why was I attracted to that person? Because at the end of the day, we have physical bodies.
Yeah.
And sometimes we want to act from that wild place, right?
And like Lilith is that untamed, divine feminine sexual energy. So it's great. But like if Venus is retrograde, like you were saying, maybe you're going to want to share this energy with someone that you'll regret later on.
Yeah. So might actually be a good time for all of us to express our wild side so that that counteracts that. That's something we call like an astrological remedy. When we know that there's going to be something that's kind of like, okay, some of us may be tempted to go in that direction. We can do an astrological remedy of, okay, I'm going to at night maybe go naked in my backyard under the moon. And that's something wild. So we're releasing that energy. We're expressing that energy that's very prominent. So then if we are, dating someone, I hope what I'm saying makes sense to you guys. We don't do something that maybe won't resonate with us afterwards.
It does. And, I was listening the other day to May Levy, and she was saying that another way also to express this sexual energy when it's built in is also dancing. And Venus in Leo is also dancing. So I feel like there's a lot of way also to cultivate this Lilith Venus energy, other than in a very, very sexual way, which is also good. But also you can cultivate it by dancing to really express this divine feminine untamed energy. So I love that.
So be warned, guys, if you see a woman dancing in their backyard naked at night, it's just because she's trying to not get back with her ex.
We're going to be like, yeah, you go, girl.
You go. I see some people saying in the chat, how do I find my Lilith? That's a good question, because I think most of the online free birth charts might not show that. Yeah. You just type in onto Google or whatever search engine, Black Moon Lilith calculator.
Yeah.
And you'll find out what your Black Moon Lilith, and they'll probably give you a description of that.
And it's funny because I just looked at mine. Usually I don't really work with that. And I was like, I think mine is in Pisces too. And
really?
like, yeah. For me, it was like a lot of work on boundaries, because, Pisces is very giving, has no limit, has no boundaries. So, and also sometimes you are being taken advantage of because you want to be nice, you want to be kind, you want to help people. So yeah, I think that was like so far my big challenge with the Lilith there.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Before we go into the questions, I wanted to share with you, we just filmed this amazing Astro for the month of July. So we're going sign by sign, and not side by side, but sign by sign for the 12 zodiac signs with the predictions. So we covered this month Venus retrograde through all the signs, what it's going to mean for you specifically for your own birth sign, sun sign or rising sign, and also the nodes shifting into the relationship axis. So what houses are going to be activated for the next year and a half for your sign specifically. So I talk about that for each of the zodiac signs, and Janine does a card pull for each of the zodiac signs. So that's available, I think, now for the IAP. And now for sure for the IAP, but I think for the pay-per-view, either today later on or tomorrow probably. So that's for the Astro. And funny enough, the card that Janine kept getting for all the 12 zodiac signs was the Fool for the month of July. So I think we got it for all the signs. So I think that's going to be major new chapters beginning. So very interesting. Oh, I think we have guest in the studio. Does the special guest want to be on screen, or is it just a spy? I'm gonna wait for a couple of seconds. Oh, no, it doesn't want to come on.
Okay.
It's just a good surprise. Okay. What did I want to? Okay, let's dive into the questions. Okay, this one is going to be for Sophie. Let's start with you. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to try to find a good question for you. Okay. A question from Murdoch Wilson. Thank you so much, Murdoch. Could you shed some light on my life mission? So he has a North Node in Leo in the 8th house, widely conjunct the moon. So some information about his life mission. So North Node in Leo in the 8th house, if that helps, but you can go with the cards or just your intuition as you wish.
Okay. And also knowing that your mission can be many, many different ways that you want to express that.
Right.
Stay in that energy of Leo and the energy of 8th house. The cards are going to maybe tell you one way, but you're not limited to that. And you can go to the extent that you want in your life mission. So let's see. What is your mission? So I feel that you're supposed to be sharing your information. So I do have the card of the devil. When it's well aspected, the devil, it would be, and we have the card of Mercury, so communication. So when it's well aspected, it could be that you need to be front center. It could be that you need to overcome some fears, maybe with the 8th house of speaking in public, or it could be that you need to be helping with the shadow work in that way, where you are front center with helping others with their own shadow work. Doesn't need to be a job. It could be in your free time. It could be people that you already have around you that are going to be asking for help, and you're naturally good with this. Those are the cards that I have, but the most interesting for me would be surrender, let go, trust the divine. So I think that would be also for you to know that there is no limit to what you can do. Since we have the Leo, just go for it. And we have the 8th house. So for me, that energy would be also about maybe exploring the other side of the veil, exploring maybe either past life or exploring shamanism or exploring many of the healing. There is no limit to what you can do. The only thing that I would have to say with this energy that I'm getting with the cards is that you have to really be strong in that belief that you're good enough, and you have to face the challenges to go for your mission.
Wow, thank you so much, Sophie. I love that. I hope it helps Murdoch. Such a powerful placement in the 8th house in Leo. I love that. Okay, next up, I'm gonna put a question here for you, Meg. I had one, just a second. Okay, from Carolyn. Okay, she's a Leo rising, a Pisces sun, and Aquarius moon. Universe has divinely ended my 20+ career. What will I be doing, and what do I need to focus on now? I feel lost. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Wow. So, sorry, were you going to say something, Julie?
No, go ahead.
Well, being a Pisces sun, it may sound weird for me to say, but it makes sense because we're having Saturn in Pisces right now, Granddaddy Saturn, and he has a lot to do with work and career. And I've been noticing a lot in personal consultations, Pisces sun, moon, and rising having very big career changes. And like you're saying, Carolyn, not really knowing what to do. What should I be focusing on? Feeling lost, which Pisces can rule feeling lost in astrology. So actually, one of the best things for you to be doing is to go outside, get into nature, get grounded, get barefoot, get off any technologies. And I'm feeling Spirit saying to you, what do you want to do? Because you can do that now. You are able to do that now. I feel like the career that you've just come out of, there was maybe something heavy about it, or maybe even toxic about it. Like I'm seeing a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders. And this is actually a really positive thing. And I feel like you're going to be doing more than one thing. I'm going to pull some confirmation cards. Yeah, you have, okay, wow, that's pretty clear. You have multiple talents. I pulled the career house, 10th house. So you're not done here yet, Carolyn. This is not the end of the work road for you. Creative gifts, 5th house, and healing gifts. And that was what I was feeling before I pulled the cards. So you're a Pisces, Moon in Aquarius, Leo rising. That's like extremely creative and also healing energy. So what is it that you want to do, and go towards that, and can be a good time to maybe take a course right now. I'm feeling to get inspired by something, or go on a retreat, get into like-minded community. I'm feeling like there's something you need to do to get yourself out of the energy of this career. Like there's part of your energy body that's still in the office. So if it resonates with you, call your energy back and do something new to step into this new timeline. So I hope that makes sense, Carolyn, and I'm sending you lots of love.
Thank you so much, Meg. I love that. I feel like you shed a lot of light into her situation. So hope it helps, Carolyn. Okay, one last one. I was going to end it here, but I think we need to answer Laura's question. So Laura says, my brother passed on, I think it's June 20th. So, oh, wow. Very recently. So very sorry for your loss, Laura. Sending you much love. His B-day was on August 21st of 1958. Any message from him?
I'm so sorry for that, Lakeside Laura. And thank you for all your support, by the way. We always see your comment, and we're always grateful to see your name everywhere. So I'm sending you tons of love right now. And you can be sure that you have all of our love and our support right there. So
very well said.
Okay, I will try not to cry with you. Okay, so for sure we have the card of sadness. So for sure you can see he is always by your side, even though physically he cannot be there. We also have working on something. So I think he wants to address your grieving process right there. He is saying that you judge yourself heavily. So I want to address that. And I also want to address that for everybody else that is going maybe through some grief right now. Is talking to you about when you have those feeling of grief, you judge yourself for maybe crying, for maybe feeling down. And when you don't have those, when you feel good, you may be feeling like you should not feel good and you're judging yourself. So you're always in that energy right there of a judgment. So let's see what else he has to say to you. I want to have one more messages, because I feel that this was just to let you know that give yourself a break. He is always with you. Okay. I don't know if you have already message from him, signs from him, but he is saying that he is preparing something for you, and also that he will come back into your life in another form. So we have incubation, the egg, and we have through the veil. It's not a pretty card, but this is hidden, and this is the veil, and we have cycle completion. So he had completed what he came here to do. And with the card of the egg, he wants to let you know that he is coming back into your life through another form. So watch out for pregnancies around you, baby being born, or people that are going to look alike, feel alike, because he is coming back in another form in your life.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much, Sophie. Sending you much love. Laura, we love you. Wow. Okay. I hope it helps. That's a beautiful message. I love it. And I feel like he said something similar when our grandma passed away, that she would be reborn into the same lineage. So I feel like this is something that happens quite often, that a soul wants to reincarnate in the same lineage. I love that. Thank you. Okay, just to close out the show, I'd like to remind you guys that you can book with...
Hey.
Hi, special guest.
No. Hold that thought, Julie.
Okay, yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, guys. What a wonderful show this evening. I caught the later half of it. You guys did amazing. And thank you, everyone, for all the love and support in the chat, both on YouTube and also on Rumble. It's a big community. They're thriving as well. Guys, since you were all together here, as you know, our very, very dear friend, Janine, has been having some difficult times in the last week here, losing one of her best friends. I want to bring the picture of her friend here up on the screen for you guys as well. And I wanted to ask all three of you, our Divine Feminine Oracles, to perhaps pull some cards, pull some Oracle cards, just to give her some words of inspiration here, perhaps messages that she needs to hear to help her navigate here, because a lot of pressure is being put on her as well, in terms of being strong for the community, for everybody else here who's been left behind. And I know that she was struggling. We recorded the Astro Woo today, and she was, working hard not to miss the episode and not miss a beat, but I could tell she was off her energy. So I'd really appreciate if you guys can come together here, both in the live chat, also giving your support to Janine, but also the three of you with perhaps some inspirational messages for her. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Can I start with the tarot cards?
Sure, let's do it.
And thank you for the opportunity. I didn't know, so I'm so sorry to learn about this, Janine. If you're watching, I'm sending you all my love also. And with the message of Alexi Laura, I feel that there is no random message. We are all connected, and I think that we're going through some tough lesson right there, but we're all in this community together. So Janine, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you all of my support and plenty of healing.
And Janine did speak about it today on her Beyond Ravens Rumble video. If you guys haven't seen that, she shared a little bit with you guys. She was a little bit choked up there too. So the person in question is, of course, the beautiful Bonnie. So if you guys want to tune into her, that's her name and her frequency field there as well.
So right away, she's giving me powerful cards. So she is giving me the Dove. So I don't know if she was in some kind of pain towards the end of her life. I don't know what happened there, but she is just saying, I am free. There is absolutely no pain. The fact that we have this color orange behind, it's making me feel this warm and this, I am in the warm. I am in the love. I am in the safe place. And we have transition. So she is talking about the fact that right now she's being taken care of. Right now, there's plenty of guides with her, and they're helping her transition. So not only she is released without any problems, but also she is with plenty of her guides. So now I'm not going to go into details. I didn't know her, but she's having quite a personality through the cards. She's making jokes. So if that was her personality from what you know about her, well, this is the jokes that she's making. So she is making kind of a jokes that she was basically too much for this life and that she had a big personality.
That sounds a lot like her, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know her. So this is normally they send that kind of message. They keep their personality through the other side. So she wanted to make a joke. So she's really in her heart center. She's okay. She's making jokes. The last thing that I want to bring up is this card. We have songs. So this is something that me and Julie have a lot of messages through music, but you're going to receive messages through music also. So when I'm trying to connect with somebody that has passed, sometimes I'm just putting random music and just letting that go to random. And I ask a question and then I skip the next song. And the next song that comes in would be my answer. Or just when you're listening to random music, something will come up that will make you think about this person, and you're going to be able to communicate this way. But clearly she's fine, and clearly she's receiving plenty of love and support on the other side.
I'm sure that message will be appreciated. Thank you so much, Sophie. I guess I'll go Meg next, and then Julie last. Is that okay? What do you think? Okay,
Sure.
Let's do it.
So yeah, Janine, I didn't know about your friend passing. I'm very, very sorry about that. And I'm sending lots of love and hugs your way. Right away when I saw the picture of your friend Bonnie, what an absolutely beautiful, beautiful soul that woman has. What a magical, I don't know anything about her, but I feel like she's a super magical, high vibe, high energy person. And interesting, I pulled some Lenormand cards and I got the woman representing Bonnie. These Lenormand cards are always very freaky. They're like really accurate and specific. The woman, Bonnie, is back up, I feel, with the stars, with her star family. I don't know if she was in particular connected to the star people or ever spoke at that, but that's what I feel her soul and her energy was definitely like a high vibrational star seed, a very gifted, beautiful person. I can kind of feel her energy saying, I'm back up in the stars, baby, and it's awesome. So I don't know how she talked, but I also feel like a very funny energy with her. And that I'm not sure how she transitioned, but I feel she's on the other side. She's good. She's happy. And she's with you. The ring card is of commitment and friendship. She's saying, I'm never going to leave your side. And I'm proud of you for all that you're doing. And also just a message to our whole community. I'm proud of all of you for speaking the truth, doing what you're doing, and keep doing it. And so many of us on the other side are supporting you guys in the fight, really, that's going on the planet right now. So sending lots of love to you, Janine. I feel she's in a really good place. She's like really gone somewhere far out and positive, but is connecting at the same time. So sending lots of love.
Okay. Thank you so much, Meg. I really appreciate that. Of course, Julie and I spent quite a bit of time already sharing our wisdom and our thoughts and prayers with Janine earlier today. But what we could do, Julie, instead of having you read for Janine, as you've already sent her your messages, why don't we take one last question from the live chat here? Was Maggie, who was asking about her mother. Let's go through this round here, and then we can close the show on that.
Yeah, I'll have Sophie read on her. I'm just trying to find. Okay, here is Maggie's question.
No problem.
Okay, so ladies, could you tell me about my mother who has stopped eating? She was born on March 21st. Love you all. So any message from her mom? What kind of cards tell us? So.
Absolutely. So thank you for your question, Maggie. I'm going to ask the cards about this. So of course, I'm not a doctor. I have to say that anytime that I touch a health topic, yeah. I'm sensing something. I'm just, because it's health, I just want to double, triple check before I say anything, but it's twice now that I have the same message. Let me just see if I can have, I have it another time. Okay. Yes. So it's telling me the same thing. Okay. So I have 4 times the same message. So I'm pretty sure of what I'm saying to you right now. I would check your stomach. I think there is either some kind of infection. So it may be, how do you say that with infection urinaire?
Urinary infection.
Yeah. So there could be something with the stomach like this. And I know that sometimes when you have what she just said, it can hurt the stomach as well. I heard that that it's there. Why I'm saying this is because we have tons of cards about inflammation, about fever, about infection, and we have plenty of cards about the stomach. So I do see that there is something about the stomach. It's less about preparing to go for me or something like I don't want to live or something that is emotional or mental. It's more about physical right now. So if you didn't do that already, I would look it up. I would check what is there, even if this is needed for an ultrasound, if the test doesn't come with something meaningful. But that would be my first thing to check right now with this. Let me just check quickly in the future where it would go. We have success. So I think that we have a good chance of just letting that go and just having it in the past. We're going to drop that.
So really insist if they're like, no, there's nothing there, like really insist and looking deeper. And if you can have like you said, I don't know how it works, ultrasounds or something, just to make sure that. Okay, thank you so much, Sophie. I hope it helps, Maggie. All our thoughts and prayers to you and your mom. Okay, JC, I'll let you do le mot de la fin.
Le mot de la fin. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I love you guys, and a thank you to the three of you. The direction and the energy that you guys have taken with this Divine Feminine Oracle show is absolutely amazing. And I read the comments every night or the next morning after the show, and I think you guys are doing a wonderful and fantastic job. So a big thank you to all of you three, Sophie, Meg, and Julie. I love you guys. And guys, of course, if you want to get some of these amazing expertise and insight to help you in your own personal path, of course, you can book with Meg and Sophie here at maisonjupiter.com. If you use the coupon code Beyond Mystic there, you'll get an extra 10% off. And Julie, I missed a part. Did you give away a pyramid or a candle tonight? Have you already done that?
I did at the beginning, yeah.
Okay, so I think we're all good. Anything else you wanted to share, Julie, before we go?
I love you all, and thank you for watching. Thank you, JC, for being here. I love your spontaneous appearances. I love it. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good evening, folks. Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.